I'm Tarot Oracle in this continuation of Tarot and Astrology, where we go over every card in the deck and look at the astrology meanings. Maybe the astrology meanings have a little bit of a different meaning than the actual tarot cards, and we can use that to enhance our readings and to make even a little bit more into our translation of the cards. So today we're starting with Justice. Justice traditionally has someone holding a weapon and maybe on the other hand wielding a scale. So the scales are off balance or sometimes in balance, and they have a weapon. And traditionally in tarot, this is seen as sort of getting into a justice thing, maybe a lawsuit, maybe somebody did you wrong, it's time to get justice, something like this. And a lot of times this is also seen as getting a balance as well. So today we're looking at Libra as the astrology sign for justice. And Libra is an air sign. It's cardinal and ruled by Venus. Venus is a pretty good planet, a nice planet. And justice, Libra, is cooperative. It's more of a fairness. Libra does strive to find balance. So instead of a negative connotation with a person with a weapon, we could look at someone looking for balance. Libra is all about balance. It's all about being fair between two sides. So if one side has too much, one side has too little, one side is too bad, one side is too good, or whatever, you're looking at sort of a fairness and a balance brought into that, which obviously represents the scale. And Libra is also very cooperative as well. So if you want to get on a team for Libra for work, then they're going to be good because they're going to cooperate. They're going to come to a happy middle ground. They're going to sort of balance everything out. And that's sort of tipped more towards the scale portion than the weapon in this particular card. So if we have Justice, we could be looking at getting a balance. So let's say that we had our hermit mode. Maybe it's time to get into more of a balance and get out and find a partner. So you could be looking at getting out of that hermit mode, balancing it out, and getting more social, because Libra is also a very social sign as well. So you could be looking at going from one extreme to the other, but sort of getting out of the extremes, getting more again into balance. We could also be looking at maybe work. So we've spent way too much time at work. We need to get social, for example, and get out and meet some people, get out and be more social, get out and be with friends and things like that. Too much time at work, a little bit off balance in that regard. Justice, bringing it in balance and bringing it in balance into maybe a more social environment, getting out more, etc. So looking at that balance, looking at trying to get back to normal, trying to get that balance. So if we're hurt or something like that and we're blocked from getting out, maybe we can get out more and again become more social and be like that Libra balance that we should be having in many of these cases. So that is Justice. Again, air, cardinal sign, ruled by Venus. So what if Justice is upside down? Now traditionally Libra, the bad side of Libra, they avoid conflict at all costs. You could be looking at something to where you do work too much and you're trying to avoid conflict. You're just trying to make everyone happy, and that's turning into a bad situation for you. Maybe you're saying yes too much. Maybe the Justice is out of balance. We have an out of balance condition, sort of like in your checking account, and then we come back in and we want to fix that, but we're running into blockages trying to get that as well. And Libra also has a bad side of being indecisive, maybe a bit on that hermit mode. They've been trying to get out, they've been trying to be social, but instead of actually being social, sort of pushes them into more of an isolation in more regards. So again, we could be looking at an imbalance, and the imbalance is causing our life to be upside down, literally, with Justice being like that. So look at the bad side of Libra as well. Indecisive, a bit on the yes person instead of coming out with a balance. They say yes to everything. It's like, whatever, I don't want to be in the conflict. And they're not as assertive as they need to be to get everything done at work or in a social situation, or even worse, in a relationship. So let's look at the next card. And the next card is the Hanged Man, traditionally seen as a bit of a different viewpoint, different viewpoint on a lot of different things. So you're always looking at it from this perspective. Now you have a Hanged Man. Now you have a new perspective on how to see things. So the Hanged Man is ruled by Neptune. Now Neptune is all about the sort of the enlightenment, maybe a bit on the intuitive side as well, but also has a tendency towards disillusionment or looking at things a bit on the unrealistic side, a bit on the too hopeful side, and you may have that with the Hanged Man. What if we're looking at it from a new perspective, but maybe the new perspective is not based in reality? What if we have something that's a bit on the imaginative side or a bit on the unrealistic side, and we've headed that way a bit too much with the Hanged Man, for example? We've been trying to reach a goal, and we've been trying to reach the goal, but we haven't really gotten very far with it. And we're sort of in a place to where we're juggling back and forth, or we're going back and forth and trying to find our way, but maybe we're still lost and wandering around, not making much progress, or playing around a bit too much. So a bit too much on the wasted time side, maybe a bit too much in there. Could also get the intuition side of the Hanged Man. We're trying to find that perfect relationship, and we could use our intuition and be pointed towards our intuition, again with a basic meaning of, hey, maybe we need a new perspective on this. Maybe we need to see things differently. Not only that, but maybe we need to see things through our intuition. Maybe we need to use our intuition more. Maybe our intuition is the key here in order to get this done. So again, a bit on the fantasy side as well, of the unrealistic side. If we're trying to find this great relationship and we're using that, it could turn quite sour, right? We could have a bit of the unrealistic. So maybe we are going through the social dating sites. We posted a bad picture. We posted something a bit unrealistic on our profile. Nobody is really answering, or the people that are answering are not desirable, and it's causing us to internalize a bit more. Like maybe we're doing something wrong or something like this. And it's a bit on the fantasy side instead of based in reality. We could have that new perspective offered by the Hangman, but it could be a bad perspective as well. So look at the Hangman in the sense of Neptune. It could be, again, intuition. It could be an enlightenment. We could use that new perspective for a big boost of intuition and enlightenment, and then have a sincere understanding of what we're going for at work, or what we're going for in a relationship or in life in general. But again, you could have that side of the a bit too much fantasy. Maybe we're looking for a job locally. We've been searching for this job forever, but we're just not finding the job that we want. We're just not having that luck. We're just not finding what we want and what we need, because we're not based in reality, because that new perspective is not a good one. It's a bit too much on the creative and imaginative side instead of based in reality, and we're not finding the job that we want because we're not really sincerely going after it, right? So the Hangman, Neptune, always remember that. A bit on the watery side here, maybe a bit on the intuition is gone well, or the intuition has gone poorly because it's just more on the fantasy side of the table. So that is the Hanged Man. Now next we're using Death. So Death is ruled by Scorpio. Now this is a fixed sign. a fixed sign. This is water, but it's fixed. We're not talking cardinal here. We're talking fixed water. So what does that mean as far as Scorpio is concerned? Scorpio is a fairly resourceful type of sign. Scorpio is going to get things done. They're going to figure out a way. Scorpio doesn't just think one way to get things done. Scorpio is going to find a way, even if it's a bit on the creative side, they're going to get it done. That's what they do. Scorpio is also a very good friend. It's very not only resourceful, sort of brave, sort of getting everything done, but it's a good friend, as you would expect Death to be, right? Death to be the good friend. Very reliable as well. If you need someone to get it done, if you need someone to get it from start to finish and to get it done properly, you could be looking at Scorpio. And naturally, death, as per the cards, mean a new beginning. But a new beginning could be a resourceful beginning. It could be something to where you're going to have to use your bravery for that new beginning to get past maybe a situation where everything has come down a notch. Everything is a bit on the downside. So Scorpio also has a trend for being stubborn, right? They want it this way, and this way is probably going to be the best way, and it's going to be difficult to migrate them to a new perspective in some cases. So look at that. Again, a great friend. They're going to be creative in the way they do things, but they're going to get it done. So what does this mean here when you combine that with the new beginnings that death offers in here? So we have a breakup, or we have a situation gone sour in a relationship, and the relationship has gone sour, but now it's time for, again, death basic, meaning a new beginning here. And the new beginning could be a brand new relationship that was sort of on the sidelines, but the relationship did not flourish because of the previous relationship. So we're looking at that new beginning. We have the breakup of a relationship, new beginning, and now we're looking for a new relationship, or a new relationship is blossoming thanks to that new beginning. So let's add Scorpio into here. We could be looking at a resourceful way to get this new relationship. Maybe the old way of finding the partner for the relationship wasn't good. Maybe our friend network wasn't that good, or maybe the social media site we were using isn't all that great, and the relationship that we had was a terrible one. We look back, maybe we need to be more resourceful. Maybe death needs to expand his options, expand his way of doing things, and be more resourceful in order to get this new relationship. So look at the Scorpio pattern as well about being a bit on the brave side, right? Not only do you need to be resourceful, but you could need to take steps to do something a little out of the ordinary in order to find that new relationship. Maybe the old relationship was bad because it wasn't really the way that you wanted to go. Maybe you were in your comfort zone. You met someone in your comfort zone through friends. You know that type of person. You got into the relationship knowing it was going to fail. That's one of those things to where you're comfortable with this type of person. It could be time to start a new beginning, but to be braver this time. Be more brave and find someone a bit out of your comfort zone. Someone that is not someone that you would normally date. Take a chance on someone new, right? To have this new relationship. So the same thing is if we have a job and the job goes sour and now we're looking for a new job, for example, it could be time to be a bit on the brave side for the job. Maybe look a bit higher for a bit better job than what you had previously. Maybe it's time to expand the number of miles you drive or whatever. Maybe it's time to look for a totally different job in a different type of situation than you had before. Maybe this new beginning is an opportunity to be more brave, to expand yourself out, to use your resourcefulness, the Scorpio side, to get things better than what you had before. So the bad side of Scorpio, let's look at reversed, is going to be a bit on the jealous side. Maybe a bit on the jealous side. Maybe you had a nice relationship and your insane jealousy, your need to follow this person around, your need to monitor what they're writing on social media, your need to be a bit on the stalky side, caused your relationship to go sour. You could be looking at that jealousy. There's also a bit of a distrust. So jealousy and distrustfulness are two things that definitely do not make a good relationship, right? Maybe you had that distrust. Maybe you tried to look at their phone a few too many times. What are you doing on the phone? Who are you talking to? And it led you to be alone. It led you to be in a situation of heartbreak when you had a pretty good relationship, right? So that distrustful, that jealous, a bit maybe on the secretive side as well, could have caused you to have a terrible relationship. So definitely look at death as well, not only a new beginning, but maybe a new beginning that's not really going to be all that good because of the jealousy, because of the, not exactly the most trustful person in the world type thing. So look at that when you see death reversed. Look at the Scorpio, the bad sides of Scorpio, and that is the death card. And the next card is Temperance. And Temperance is, astrology-wise, is with Sagittarius. So Sagittarius is the one that's going to go skydiving. It's a fire, but mutable as well. So not only is it going to take action, it's able to take a wide variety of actions, maybe a bigger variety than most of the other signs, right? It's ruled by Jupiter, so it's constantly expanding. Again, this is one that's going to be going skydiving, mountain climbing. It's going to be on some new adventure, definitely travel, lover. Sagittarius is all about getting the new things and getting them in, but expansion also, not only one new thing, but several new things. Again, that fire, mutable feeling follows Sagittarius as well. So you're looking at Sagittarius being a bit on the generous side, a bit on the traveling side, and the adventurous side as well. So Temperance is all about sort of this balance between one cup and the next. So you'll have sort of this scale feeling, wandering into this new adventure. Here, again, we have a balance, pouring from one receptacle into the next receptacle. When you see this, we could also think of a bit on the adventurous side. So here she's a bit on the adventurous side, maybe going into this unknown place that she's never been before. And again, here we could have a brand new adventure. We have this mutable fire feeling going from one place to the next. So if we do that, we could be looking at a new adventure in love. Maybe we've traveled far away. We're looking for a new relationship. And if I can find the relationship card, we're looking for that new relationship, and maybe we're going to find it. Maybe we need to have a bit more of the adventurous side of ourselves in order to find that new relationship. Now, Sagittarius is also known to be fairly generous with how they do things. So maybe we need to be a little more generous or a little more flexible in our dating lives, maybe a little more adventurous in our dating lives in order to find the person that we really need in our life, find that person that completes us, find the lover that's going to make us happy, maybe be on a bit on the adventurous side, try out something a bit new that we haven't tried out before, be a little more generous than we are usually with, getting things done. Relax our standards a little bit, maybe try someone new that we probably wouldn't have dated before, and try something a bit on the adventurous side in order to find that as well. So we're sort of searching for a job, and we're looking for something that's going to be stable, something that's going to be reliable for us. Again, maybe a bit on the adventurous side. and find something that's going to be successful and something that's going to be a little on the unusual side, and something that we normally wouldn't go for as far as the job is concerned. So if you're looking for maybe a raise, right? Maybe the boss is a bit stubborn with the money or whatever. Take a bit of a chance and ask for a raise and see if we can get it. And that could be something that is in our future for getting that raise or getting the promotion or something like that. Maybe this year is the time to be a little more adventurous and ask for that promotion or ask for that raise directly and see if we can, get that done. So again, a bit on the generous side, a bit on the adventurous side, going to try things out that we haven't tried before in order to get different results. As per the quote, the definition of insanity is doing the same things over and over, expecting different results, right? So we want to try something different in order to get something different, not only in our career, but maybe in our love life as well. We're a little holed up. We're a bit on the hermit side. Maybe it's time to expand ourselves. Maybe it's time to look for a lover in a different place than we normally go. Maybe sign up for some fun dance class or something like that, and meet some new people, right? So it's a time to expand ourselves out, time to find that new adventure, and maybe that will score us the love of our life. So we have the reversed Temperance as well, and the reversed is a Sagittarius for the bad side. Sagittarius for the bad side, a bit maybe too stoic in how they do everything, a bit on the boring side, a bit maybe not so adventurous. And we also have this impatience. Instead of expanding in the Jupiter realm, expanding, getting larger with our goals, getting larger with what we're going to do, maybe we're sort of shrinking in a lot on the Temperance reversed. Now, Temperance reversed, Sagittarius reversed, could also be impatience. So we're looking for that great job, and we have a bit impatience. And being too impatient is not getting us anywhere. It's getting us just floating around, getting no progress whatsoever. So our impatience is not really paying off in this respects at all, right? We have this a bit on the impatient side, and again, a little too assertive, a little too much on the assertive side, sort of annoying people, not getting what we want due to maybe annoying people, maybe being a bit too blunt, and that's causing us to not get where we want to go, but sort of circling the drain at work, as per se, right? So you're ticking too many people off. Maybe you're a bit too assertive. Maybe you're a bit too much on the vocal side, and you need to calm it down. Maybe you need to get more political. Maybe you need to be more politically correct at work, and find that happy medium to where you're not ticking people off. So a work situation, Temperance reversed, you probably want to tone it down. You probably want to tone it down a little bit, get a little out of that impatient, get a little out of that assertiveness, because it's going to go wrong, and it's going to cause you to be in a situation you don't want to be. Again, we could have a situation where we have a relationship, we have a pretty decent relationship, or it's going south, and again, we're a bit too aggressive, we're a bit too assertive in the relationship. Maybe we're trying to make too many demands instead of just going with the flow. Maybe we're not being adventurous enough. We're in the stagnant relationship. The other person's bored. This is not something that's helping anyone. And it's definitely going sour because of our impatience, because of that assertiveness of Scorpio reversed. And it's causing us to be in a situation of paranoia, sort of not really looking at things in the right way, etc. So definitely, if you see Scorpio reversed, you probably want to tone it down a little bit. You probably want to get out of survival mode and return to that expansion of Jupiter, right? Return to that beautiful, mutable fire, to where you're taking that action and you're not stagnant, you're not stoic in how you do things. Get back to your original Scorpio, where your get back to your original Sagittarius, to where you're being that generous, you're being the adventurous, and it's something that you want to get back to. So if you see that reversed, that's not going to be a good situation, and it's something that you need to reevaluate how you're doing things and how you're thinking about things. So the next card, the last card, is the Devil, right? We have these influences maybe that are not so good. Now, Devil is ruled, as far as astrology is concerned, by Capricorn. This is a cardinal earth sign. It is ruled by Saturn. Saturn is all about just getting into that restriction and that limitation, our boundaries, our fears. It's not a great planet, to have as far as anything is concerned, which makes sense for the Devil, right? But Capricorn is traditionally, sort of in astrology terms, is a lot like a workaholic sort of thing. Capricorn is the one that's going to stay later, the one that's going to get things done, the one that's going to be the responsible, it's going to be the manager. He's going to get everything done. It's going to happen. You can trust him, etc., etc. So cardinal earth, so that earth is going to be grounded. It's going to be down to earth. It's going to be something that you can rely on. And cardinal is going to allow it to be flexible enough to handle the situations that come up. But that Saturn thing is really going to restrict that. Now, Capricorn, some of the key words is like responsible, disciplined. Again, you would expect this from the Devil. The Devil is going to follow up. The Devil is not a person who's going to make idealistic threats and be like, yeah, you didn't do it? Well, that's okay. The Devil is going to follow up. The Devil doesn't mess around, right? So the Devil is definitely a follow-up card. He's definitely a get things done card. He doesn't, if he says something, he's going to get it done. So you look at this Capricorn sort of work ethic, I guess, of the Devil, and look at that responsible and disciplined nature that you have for the Devil. So it could be a situation to where you are at work, you're getting things done, and this is a time to where not only do you have maybe a different influence coming in to work that you weren't aware of, but you're also going to have to be also that influence in order to get out of that, or to get that juggled successfully and get that out of your life type thing, get that influence out of your life. You're going to have that self-control. You're going to have to be responsible. You're going to have to follow up and get things done in order to get any negative influences that you have out of the way. So this could be a possible rerouting of what happens at work as well. So you have somebody new come in, for example, and you don't know who this person is, and you have someone new coming in at work, and it could be a negative influence, but it could be something to where you're going to be able to work through it. You're going to have to stay disciplined. You're going to have to maintain your self-control in order to get through that, in order to juggle those different parts of your life through. So not only is it a negative influence, but it's going to have a need to follow up. It's going to have a need for self-control and to get it worked out. So we could be embarking into a new relationship as well. It could be not only a negative influence within this relationship waiting to happen, but it could be something to watch out for. It could be an indicator that you need to follow up. You need to have that self-control in the relationship that maybe you don't normally have. Maybe in a relationship you have patterns of bad things, and in order to work through those bad things, you're going to have that discipline in order to get through it. So if anything happens in the relationship and it's negative, you're going to have that self-control. You're going to have that discipline to get through it and to be able to move on and get the relationship where you want it to be. So not only a negative influence, but an opportunity to maintain your self-control through the challenges, maintain your discipline through those challenges, and make it through. So this is, again, the Capricorn type of feel, cardinal earth, but a bit on the restricted side. So what if we have the devil upside down? Not only could we have a negative influence that is going away or negative influence that is fading as well, but it could be something to where the negative influence will leave a lasting impression. So the bad side of Capricorn is going to be sort of a condescending, not very nice, and definitely unforgiving. It could be somebody that does not follow up when they need to follow up. So if we have a conflict within our relationship and you need to get this done, you need to go to counseling or something like that, the negative side of Capricorn could mean that you're not getting that done. You're not following up. You're not putting in the work that you need, and it's causing the negative influence to stay. It's causing the negative influence to not go away and to affect your relationship. So when you see the Capricorn upside down, look at, again, a bit on the arrogant side. You know, they know more than you is what they're going to say. They know how to do everything. And again, it's going to be on the negative side. So even with the negative influence waning or sort of going away, we could have a residual effect that is going to affect our relationship and maybe cause us to be alone in the sort of an alone feeling or an abandonment even in the relationship itself, and the relationship could go sour. So again, the devil upside down. You may want to put more work into it than you're expecting. You may not be putting the work that you need to put into it. You may not have that responsibility anymore that you had when you first started the relationship, and it's time to pick that up and to turn this back and to get rid of any residual negative influences that you had. So that is the devil, again, Capricorn, cardinal, earth, ruled by Saturn, and that is the end of this video on tarot and astrology. If you like this video, please hit like and subscribe. We're going to do more. We're going to get through the majors and start with the minors and have all sorts of fun, interesting stuff to say about those. Thank you so much for joining me. And again, hit like and subscribe. It always helps me to get more of these out, and we get more people in here watching these videos. It's always a cool thing. So thank you again, and have a great day.